how many of you speak in tongues? Please don't be shy to put up your hand. All right, thank you. When you speak in tongues, have you ever thought what it is that you are doing? I know that when we are taught about tongues, we are taught that we worship God when we speak in tongues. But I really would like to know if you actually what am I thinking, brother? Him and I know what this conversation is all about. That's why I was searching him last week. When we speak in tongues, are we actually aware of what we are doing? I want to just express a thought to you. There are so many things, there's just not enough time. And I'm grateful that you give me your supper time to talk to you, because by this time of the day when you come to pray, you are really praying like a fast-moving train so you can get home and eat. So, there are how many letters in the alphabet? Anybody? How many? 26 letters. How many words can you form out of those 26 letters? Ever thought that way? Myriads and myriads and myriads of words. Why is it then that when we speak in tongues, so many of us never use more than one letter?
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Christians will start speaking in tongues and they'll say, there's an HA and a TA that are involved there, nothing else. Or there's a RA. And yet when you speak in Shona, you have myriads of words coming out of that alphabet. Some words are not good to be heard, but they are still formulated from the alphabet. And I think the reason is that we do not realize that tongues is intended to be a language. Say, tongues are a language.
Tongues are a language.
If you have a baby and the baby starts saying that's great. But when the baby is 3 years old and 5 years old and 10 years old and is still only saying then you know that there is a chemical breakdown somewhere and the child needs help. When Paul describes tongues in Romans, yes. He says, though we speak with the tongues of men and angels. In Acts chapter 2, they were speaking with the tongues of men. But subsequently, and along the way, they began to speak with the tongues of angels. How do I know? Because these angels got to know these guys. That's why they said to the 7 sons of the priests, they said, Jesus we know and Paul we know. And you guys, you don't even know your own language. I love hearing him when he speaks in tongues. Have you heard him? There's a whole language that comes out there. It's not just a we've got to get beyond that. Because spiritual warfare demands that you use heaven's language. I try to get people to understand the incredible abilities that Lucifer has without giving them the impression, it seems to me, when you talk about Lucifer and his abilities, Christians are afraid that we're giving him praise. We're not giving him praise. We need you to know your enemy. Hello? We need you to know who it is that you're coming up against and what he actually does. And I say to people, you need to understand that Lucifer and the fallen angels, there is not a language on this planet that they do not know. This is echoing a lot. If you realize that, when Satan uses demons to tempt you, they tempt you in your mother tongue. If you're a Shona, guess what? Demons can speak. Sure. And did you know that they can speak English in the Praat Afrikaans? They speak French and German. They even speak slang. It's true. There is not a language on the planet. And the reason why God gives us a new language, and I think we spoke to you about this last week, when we're speaking in tongues, that is why you have to develop your language. God gives you a language in tongues that is not yet documented in heaven, and Satan does not know it. He's got to find it out, and by the time Satan learns what you said tonight, next night you're not saying the same thing, he's giving you a new one. So you're always a language ahead of him. Yeah, are you with me here? That is why it is imperative that we develop this language. This is echoing. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm standing in front of you. Every time when you speak in tongues, you need to understand. It's on, brother. It's just that every time I seem to get an echo when I'm between the speakers. You need to grasp these things so that you develop them. You are not just speaking gibberish. Every time when you open your mouth, God should be giving you a completely new language. That's why Paul says, he who prays in the tongue does not even understand what he is saying himself. These are imperatives if we're in spiritual warfare. I was not intending to say that, but there I said it. I'm kind of looking at what we should talk about tonight, because there's so much, and I'm trying to teach you things in relation to your goal of reaching the women of the night, the Sheilas of the night. What did we say to you last week about the Sheilas? Who is the real enemy here? It's the Johns, not the Sheilas. And I want to talk to you about why men go out and buy sex. You'll be surprised that it is not about the sex. We want to talk to you about that, so please put on your adult ears. If you are spiritually oversensitive, maybe you shouldn't be. No, I'm not going to cuss, okay? I'm not going to use dirty language. But I'm going to use language that as Christians we don't want to hear because, oh, you know, we are Christian. And Satan loves it when we do that because he can run rings around us and say, these are just babies. Don't worry about it. Remember we said last week that they actually laugh at us? They do. When we're casting them out. And let me suggest to you tonight, don't be in a hurry to go out and teach these things until you go out first and practice what I'm telling you. Otherwise, you'll be teaching it to others just as an academic process. First, you go walk the streets, then you see the results, then you teach. Don't take this from my mouth to your ears to somebody else's ears from your mouth. This is danger area. We get ourselves into lots of trouble when we're dealing with this. So, please make sure that you develop your tongues because God is waiting for you to be able to communicate with Him in a new way. So that every time when you come to your Father, Satan's standing there and he's saying, what are they saying now? What are they saying now? And you go away and you wonder why Satan couldn't hinder that prayer. He's still working out what was it that they were saying. And by the time he hears it, when you come back again, he finds that you're saying a new one. Are you with me here? Brethren, this is big, 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 big business. It's awesome if you understand what it's all about. So move beyond just stop that one already. Last week we said some things to you. And maybe I will start there tonight. We spoke to you a little bit last week because Christians are very fond of the Jericho March. We love the Jericho March, we just don't know what we're doing. We really don't know what we're doing. If we knew what we were doing, we wouldn't do it the way we do it. We said that the Jericho March did not start in Joshua chapter 6. That was the last day. Christians like to start at the last day because then it's over. They like to come to the prayer meeting at 5:30 because they know that if they come at 5, there's a whole hour to go. If they come at 5:30, there's only 30 minutes and then they can go home. We like the amen part. I want to suggest, if you like it like that, when you get to heaven, please stay away from Paul's assembly. He preaches long, that guy. And if you fall out of the window, because it was about this height, maybe higher, the upper room, the young boy was sitting on the window, it was hot, and he fell out and he died. And Paul went and raised him from the dead, and what did Paul do after that? Now he's got a new message, so stay away from Paul's church. If you like amens, stay away from Paul's church. I don't do too badly myself. Sometimes I can preach for 2 hours. Just warm it up. Are you understanding what I said about tongues? Do you know what it is that you're doing? Do you know the awesome privilege that you have as a child of God to come in and sit with Father, Son, and Holy Spirit and talk words that Lucifer doesn't know? And then when you leave, he's confused, and when you come back again, he gets his interpreters. Come on. There she coming again. And then, what did she say? They say, no, we a new one every time. That's why I am not in a hurry. You don't hear me shouting a lot in tongues, because I know I'm saying profound things. I'm not just babbling Babylonian tongues of confusion. We said last week the Jericho march did not start on the seventh day at the seventh hour. It started with Joshua standing over the city of Jericho, studying how he was going to take this city. And when he looked up, he saw a man. Now, that man was always there. That man did the same thing when he came to Jerusalem. He stood over it and he looked over the city and he wept again. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. This guy that we're following, this captain of the host of the Lord, he's a professional city taker. It's just that his present army doesn't have a clue what it's doing, and it's usually in a hurry to run before it knows how to walk in the Spirit. And it runs